Texas.
Lone Star State. Sick 'em. Hey guys.
What up? Okay, here we are today to discuss very important things, such as
Unifieds.
Unifieds are coming up.
We know you've all been
MT
posting
people.
a lot in Courtney's break room, and we've gotten lots of DMs with questions, so we thought we'd just make a little vlog to answer them.
Okay, so first we're going to talk about Unifieds and everything to expect, how to prepare, what to do. Like, let's get into it. So keep watching if you want to, like,
learn. If you want to book a BFA, listen up. Unifieds is if you're wanting to audition for like a bunch of musical theater or acting programs, instead of having to travel to each state and each school and audition for them on campus, you can just go to New York, Chicago, or LA and audition for like 10 schools in one day. So that's a really good way to save some money. So we did it and it was great.
You can schedule auditions at Unifieds and you can also walk in. So a lot of schools will like say whether or not they're doing walk-ins, and basically you just show up and say, hey, here's my headshot and resume. I'm gonna audition for you today. And you can get into a school that you weren't even planning to apply for. And I've heard of a lot of people who like end up going to those schools and are so happy. Take advantage of those for sure, because you're there, you might as well. Just in terms of preparing for your audition,
you're gonna need your headshot and resume. Make sure you look at the school and see how many you need. Some of them want like 4 for each person on the panel, some people just want 1. And some people want you to send it to them electronically. So just make sure you look at the website, see what they want. And if you bring a headshot, make sure it's an 8x10. And it doesn't matter if it's like glossy or matte, like it's fine, just do what you want.
The one thing that I would do is just make sure they are attached to each other. Like, don't bring in 2 separate pieces of paper, because if they get lost, if you don't have a small picture on the top of your resume and your actual headshots, it's separated from your resume somehow and shuffling through paperwork, then they don't know who you are when they look at your resume.
It doesn't have to be back to back.
Yeah.
But like if you have 2 separate sheets, just double-sided tape them together.
What I like to do is double-sided tape them back to back, because then they don't have the staples that like get caught on things. I just prefer double-sided tape. It makes it look the nicest in my opinion.
I would recommend making your resume have the little tiny headshot just in case they do get separated somehow. Whenever they're laying it all out, they don't have to keep flipping it. That just makes it easier for them.
A lot of that stuff is your preference. Like, what do you think presents yourself in the best way? It's not everybody's headshot and resume has to look like it. It's supposed to convey you. So
like, a lot of people are like, you have to wear a dress and you have to wear the same color as your headshot and blah blah blah. You don't have to. For me, I love doing that. I love wearing like the same color dress as my leotard for the dance call, which also matches the same color I'm wearing in my headshot. I love that just because that makes me feel good. If you don't want to, it's fine. You're not going to not get into a school because of that. You just do what makes you feel good.
My favorite thing to wear to auditions nowadays is like a fierce jumpsuit. So like it's still very put together and professional, but with pants. And you can like be goofy. Like if you have a really comedic piece and you want to like get into your body, you can do that but still looking really nice.
Schools can make you play tag with someone, or they can make you like be on the floor. If you're going to be uncomfortable in a dress and heels, don't wear them.
And auditions are, even professional auditions, not even like collegiate auditions, are moving in the direction of like a more casual audition setting. So like your wardrobe can reflect that. It doesn't have to be so fancy and professional and like putting on what they want to see. You're inviting them to your party. You're auditioning them too. You can create the energy in the room that you want to create that presents who you are.
So don't go in there and put on this performance of who like you think they want. Be yourself so that if they accept you, they actually want to work with you for 4 years, because that's a long time and they want to see the authentic version of yourself.
Authenticity.
Etiquette.
Why do you have to say it?
Etiquette. Etiquette is very important. You guys.
So we've had the opportunity to assist some dance calls.
We've learned a lot about like what they're looking for and also what makes you stand apart in a good way or in a bad way.
Use your eyes as much as you can until you absolutely need to ask a question. A lot of people are like, make sure you ask a question because then they remember you because they spoke to you. That's not always the case, because if the person running the dance call has said something multiple times in a row and then you just happen to ask a question about that thing just because you know, I'm supposed to ask a question, they'll be like, they weren't paying attention. Questions aren't bad. Ask a question in a respectful and knowledgeable way that shows that you know what they're talking about and you understand what's being shown, but you still just need clarification on this one little thing. That always happens.
You can respond to the teacher when the teacher is like, how are y'all today? You don't have to be like, you can be like, great, how are you? That being said, don't talk when it's not necessary. So if your teacher is teaching something and someone next to you is like, hey, what's that last step? You don't have to be like, oh, it's a pirouette ball change. You can be like, oh, hold on. It's not your job to help other people out loud. Definitely don't be silly on the side. Other people are dancing. Kind of feel the vibe of the room when you go in. Some auditions, they'll want you to be like on the sides like, yeah, great job, group one. And some auditions, they want you to just stand there and not speak and not cheer. And they will tell you usually. Yeah. They'll be like, let's not clap. But they'll be like, give it up for group one. Kind of feel the vibe. And if they do want you to be loud and excited, do it. Have fun. Show them that you are supportive and encouraging. Don't talk out of place. Don't be disrespectful. Definitely don't talk when the teacher's talking.
Don't talk when a teacher's talking. And make sure you're always, facing the center and engaging in what's going on.
If you are learning the choreography and there's not a lot of room, you shouldn't be full out. You're going to hit somebody. Wait until they're separated into groups and then try it full out.
And when you are going in your groups, they say this person downstage, upstage, downstage, upstage. If you're that upstage corner person, don't dance your way down. Keep the formation.
But if you're in a audition and they're like, okay, let's improv, 3 people out there, everyone's hiding in the back, take that space. That's okay. But whenever they give you a specific spot, stay in that. Usually it's run like a class, so they're not just waiting to watch you until you go in groups. Like they're watching you learn, they're watching you interact with the people around you. So make sure that you're treating it as a class.
Yes, they give a specific correction to only you. If you nail that correction every single time after that, that says a lot about who you are as a student, because they give those corrections to see how you will respond, and pay attention to the corrections that they give to other people. By listening to that, you'll know what they want, and you can apply that to yourself, because maybe you were making the same mistake. Cool.
Okay, the next part of the audition will be your singing and acting. So you will go in a room with probably 2 or 3 adjudicators. If it's unified, it's probably going to be this tiny little hotel room, or it might be like a ballroom. So once you're in that room, a lot of auditions lately, I've noticed that they're saying germs are going around, please don't shake our hands. I just know a lot of coaches are like, make sure you shake their hand. You don't have to do that. And if they reach for your hand, go for it. But if not, you don't have to do that. Just walk in and be yourself.
I always walk in and say hi to everyone. And then specifically address the accompanists, really appreciate them and everything they do, because
very hard.
It's hard to sit and play the piano all day and sight read.
How you act with the people that are helping you with your audition is important, so make sure you're giving them respect.
Do not snap your tempo.
Don't go. So it's this, it's in 2/8, thank you. I mean, you can
this
snap if you're like, hey, my tempo's it's a swing,
A lot of people don't like being snapped at. Hey. You can pat someone. I usually pat on my chest, because on your clapping is obnoxious. Singer first. If you pat on your leg, that's below where their hands are, so they're looking at the music. If you pat here, it's on the same level as where their body is. You're this tempo. Hey, fierce.
And then say thank you. And if you were singing and it's not the right tempo that you gave them, or it's just there's a misunderstanding, do not stop the music and look at them. Do not be rude. Always take the blame. Even if it was their fault, clearly, even if your accompanist just really messed up so bad, you say, I'm sorry, I must have given you the wrong tempo. Say, may I go get the tempo again? And you be respectful about it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You don't have to feel the need to push through and just sing the song to the end. If the song is wrong and you're not thinking about your acting and you're thinking about the tempo, just be like, I'm sorry, my fault, and try again.
And that's fine. And say thank you before you leave, to the accompanist specifically and to everyone in the room. All of this being said, don't worry about all these specific little things and overanalyzing every little moment. You want to be able to know these things and think about them, but ultimately you want to have a really good time and have a really good experience, and it's like a free class. Think about all these things, learn them, know them, and then just have fun.
And after your auditions, I know a lot of coaches require you to send thank you letters. You can do that if you want. You can also email them, thank you for a great audition.
Yeah.
Also, if you're at New York Unifieds and then you go to Chicago and you see them, be like, hey, good to see you again. I auditioned at New York Unifieds. Yeah. Just to get your face in front of them again. There's no problem with doing that. Yeah. Don't feel like you can't say hi. Audition complete.
If you're still in high school and you're not a senior auditioning this year, what can you do to prepare? Because you're like, I know I want to do musical theater, but I don't really know what that means. How do I do it?
Some things you can do, get in some voice lessons. It definitely cannot hurt. If you're in voice lessons and you're like, ooh, yeah, I got a fierce legit, work on belting a little bit. If you're a fierce belter, maybe try some legit. Start to expand your range in your voice. Also, if you're not in dance classes, get in some dance classes.
Yeah, girl.
Ballet is the one to do. Get that foundation, learn technique. And ballet also teaches you movement. It'll help you with everything. But also get into some jazz and tap classes if you can.
Another thing, if it is financially available to you and geographically available to you, is to do summer programs at colleges that you will be auditioning for in a few years. through a summer program, you have the opportunity to be at the school, get the vibe of the school, and feel what it's like to live there. Also meet the faculty that you would be learning from going to that school in the future, so you can build those connections in high school. So when you go into your audition, you're auditioning for people that you know and who know you and the way that you work.
Because there's a lot of summer intensives, a bunch of these summer musical theater programs.
Incredible programs.
That are great. Like, I would just recommend, if you're in high school looking for a BFA program or BA, whatever program you're looking for, maybe try going to the summer program for that school.
So in the theater division, musical theater program specifically at BoCo, we have 2 summer intensives. Count them, 2.
We
used to have 1, but we have 2. One that we've had for a while that a lot of people go to and may know is the musical theater dance intensive. That is led by Michelle Chassé, and we dance and we sing and we act. So that's the first option that has been around for a while, but the brand new option that they're introducing this year is the musical theater acting intensive.
Yes!
Which is going to be really, really cool. I'm really excited to see like what that turns out to be.
Led by Laura Marie Duncan.
She's the senior musical theater teacher at BoCo. She has all the Broadway creds and knowledge, and she is a woman that I love dearly.
That intensive is going to be amazing. Musical theater dance intensive is amazing. We highly recommend both of those.
You get to meet and spend time with people who are current students. There are current students that are on the team as, you know, assistants and helpers and take classes with you. You get to meet and spend time with them and hang out with them and build friendships, and then like talk to them about their experience and whether or not you want to come there, and then that's another face and another person in your network that you know. Oh my gosh.
I've always wanted to be in one of Victoria's blogs.
You're already in one.
You've been in them.
Now I'm just really in.
Any mom tips?
Oh, lots. Your child needs you. They need you to do all the background stuff because they are so stressed and they're going to be so tired. And all of those little things that you can do to help them be organized in their room and making sure they have their stuff.
When you forget the right bra, they run back to that hotel room and get it for you.
When you forget your binder.
Mom!
Give me my binder!
Where are my legigas?
Especially in Chicago, those elevators, they're so slow. The lobby was really fun, and that's where everybody hangs out.
Meet all the moms.
And all the kids are just kind of coming through, and it's just, I cherish that time, and I miss it so much. It's memories that I cherish forever.
And if you can remember it like that, then it's fun. But if you remember it like, oh, it's so stressful, then it's stressful. Like, just have the time.
Make a trip out of it.
It's your last time with your child as their senior year. Video it and
vlog it. Make a vlog.
It's fun.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. Bye.
Also, Unifieds, you might need a speaker since they don't have a piano in every room, so you'll need to have a recording of your song.
Like, we have a friend, like, you just send him your music and he'll record an accompaniment of it for $5. I would prefer to have a piano accompaniment than like a karaoke track. Try to do that if that's possible for you. If not, that's fine.
If you need someone, feel free to comment below or message us, and we'll get you in touch with our friends that can do that.
What are the things that you should be looking for? Deciding what's really important to you is like a good step in terms of finding your dream school.
One of the big things to decide first would be, do you want a university or a conservatory?
What does that even mean?
We'll tell you. A university means that you're in a musical theater program within a school that is not mainly focused on the arts. The University of Michigan, University of Minnesota.
Any university, big school, giant school.
So that means you still get to go to football games on the weekends. You get to be in a sorority or a fraternity.
If you so desire.
Like, chill
and
out
have friends who
aren't in theater or art.
Yeah.
You can take a lot more academic classes. It'll be a different schedule.
On the other hand, you can choose to go to a conservatory, which there's no larger school, it's just your programs. For us specifically, going to Boston Conservatory, we have music, theater, dance, and we have those majors within those divisions, and that's the entire school. So going to a school like this, you'd think, hey, I'm not gonna have any academic opportunities or academic stimulation. That's not the case. There are great opportunities. We have liberal arts classes that takes the place of like gen eds.
So if you go to a conservatory, you have the opportunity to not take academic classes if you don't want to, if you get them out of the way in high school. I didn't want to do a bunch of lib art classes in college. I wanted to just do my BFA musical theater program every day, all day. Wanted to wake up and have musical theater 9 to 11 p.m. So you can do that if you want, or if you're at a conservatory, you can take the liberal arts classes and you can actually decide which kinds of classes you would want to take.
And there's really cool classes that really enrich your arts experience. I took a class like intersectional feminism and performance. It was really challenging and just made me think about a lot of things, and a lot of the liberal art classes are structured that way to really supplement what you do as an artist in the conservatory, so that's just our experience. Nothing really changes in terms of the quality of training. There are amazing programs that are standalone conservatories or a conservatory within a university.
It's mainly the difference is the schedule and the experience. So it's mainly just figuring out what you would want for 4 years.
Knowing the right questions to ask about curriculum, about faculty. So what's one thing that you asked about and wanted to see in a program that was like the most important thing to you?
One thing that was important to me in my musical theater program was having an equal emphasis on each aspect of musical theater. After every audition, most of the time they will be like, hey, do you have any questions for us? Use that opportunity and ask them, because I always asked how many dance classes, singing classes, voice, and acting. I didn't want to just go to a program that only focused on my acting and my voice. Like, I also wanted to keep dance, but I also didn't want to go to a dance emphasis program that voice and acting was just kind of on the side. I wanted it all to be equally important. What did you ask, Maggie?
Well, not really a question because you already know because of the school, but one of the most important factors to me was location, because I wanted a place that gave me opportunities within the school, but also I can find opportunities in the city. So what I love about my school is that they have casting agencies, summer stock theaters, just audition opportunities that they bring to our school, and so many amazing theater opportunities available in Boston. And because we work with faculty that work professionally in Boston, we have those connections, and then those connections extend to New York as well. So that was super important for me, to be in a city that I could build that network while I'm still in school.
It was a big deal to me to get out of the South. So like the difference living in the South and then moving up to the North, that was already just a huge difference in my life and what I'm learning. You just learn a lot from living in a different place. So that could be something that you can think about. Or if you want to go home a lot and maybe see your baby sister, maybe go somewhere in state, like save money.
Positive mindset during audition season. The way that I kind of went through audition season was that I know a lot of people, this is like, it's already too late because you already have your like number one that you want to go to so bad, your dream school. I tried to keep an open mind about all schools, and I didn't really set my heart on one specific place, because I knew that if I did that, there was a chance that my heart would be broken, and I know that there are a lot of broken hearts on like April 1st, you know, like I know that there are maybe multiple places that I would be very happy. When I went to school to audition, I would go, learn everything I could, meet the faculty, immerse myself in the school, and then when it was over, I would say I did everything that I could, and I would move on. Put it out of your mind, because it's over and you're gonna have to wait a couple months to find out about your decision, so might as well not let it torture you during that time. Just trust that everything will end up the way that it's supposed to.
Don't get your hopes up about like this one school that you're like really dying to go to. If you had an amazing audition, maybe you feel like you had an amazing audition and they liked you, but you weren't what they were looking for. A lot of times you audition and you'll be like, wow, that was the worst audition of my life. You get in.
Hey girl.
So you never know what's going on in their heads.
There's so many factors that you don't realize go into who is selected to attend a school that has nothing to do with you personally or your value or anything at all. There's so many other things that they look at, things that don't have anything to do with you and what you brought to the room. I would audition for all the schools first. Don't like go tour every school that you're interested in. I would wait until you actually find out where you are accepted to start touring all those schools and actually looking into them. If you don't have an open mind about this one school and then it ends up being the only place you get in, then you're already going to have this negative mindset. If you just have an open mind, I'm going to audition like for all 20 of these schools, and then I got in these 5. Okay, let's look at these. Which ones do I like? And then you pick out of those, and then it'll be just a more positive experience for you. What's up, Preston? Hey, bro.
I get to be part of the vlog
Oh my
this
god!
week.
Can you name 5 musicals?
Yes, I can, and I will do so after this message from our sponsors. Thank you, sponsors. Today's 5 musicals of the day are Cats, Phantom of the Opera, Dogs, SpongeBob SquarePants musical, Newsboys, which I believe is a combination of Jersey Boys and Newsies.
Nice!
Wicked.
Nice!
Good work.
And now back to you with sports.
These two right here, we're going to be at New York Unified assisting the BoCo dance call and auditions for BoCo, so we will see you at Unifieds if you're there.
I'm so
Hit us
excited!
up. As much as people stress about it, I had a great time.
And you like meet friends and
yeah,
you hang out at the
people that you're
hotel.
meeting at Unifieds and all these auditions, they might be the people you're at school with for the next 4 years, or they're going to be the people you're spending your career with. I still talk to like a lot of my Unifieds audition buddies. You'll see them at summer stock auditions every year, or you'll see them after
in New York
college in New York or
LA
wherever
or
you
wherever
go.
you go, cruise ships.
So just remember to have fun. As we've said, we are sophomore musical theater majors at Boston Conservatory at Berkeley, and we are tour guides through admissions. So if you're ever coming up to look at the school, we
might be
giving you a tour of it.
And even if we're not, you can still reach out to us as somebody to talk to when you're in the admissions office, or just like DM us or whatever. We give you the official tour and then we give you the backstage tour, you know, it's fun.
We would love for you to come to BoCo. If
We
it's
love
the
our
right
school.
for you.
Oh my gosh.
We love it so much.
That's why we became tour guides, to share that with people, and that's why we do this, because it's fun. Right?
You will end up where you're supposed to be. Just believe that and have a good time. If you have more specific questions about our program once it comes time to decide where you're gonna go, ask us. We might make another vlog with those questions being answered.
This is my tempo. I don't know if y'all noticed. We won. We won.
Hope this was helpful. Subscribe below. Break a leg. It's gonna be so